How's it going, guys? Crunchy back again with another episode. Today, we've gone on quite a bit of a time skip. Just recap, here's basically all the important events that's happened since the last video. I crafted a wheat hoe and maxed it out, as well as some other farming tools, mined off camera, and got a drill. And I also ended up crafting the rancher's boots as Mayor Derpy came around. I crafted an aspect to the end, as well as getting my first ever booster cookie. And I unlocked the hunting skill, which will unlock more avenues in the future. And on top of all that, I also ended up doing some dungeon runs to gather some dragon fragments. So now I have an unstable dragon chestplate. Hopefully, before the next episode, I'll be able to have the entire unstable dragon set, which will help me with damage immensely. But right now, we have a different surprise, which is our first ever upgrade to the melon armor. Off camera, I farmed enough golden carrots, wheat, and all that jazz using our brand spanking new automatic farm, or semi-automatic, I guess. But all it is a 45-degree angle farm. I look 45 degrees, and then I hold W, and then once I reach the end of the farm all the way down in that direction, I just press A, and I keep going back this way, and it's just back and forth and back and forth. And then by the time I reach the end, I go all the way down here and restart the entire cycle again. And this farms 3 layers, so I did it, or well, I did the wheat on a different farm, but the wheat farm, the potato farm, and the carrot farm are all here. So, without further ado, let's craft the brand new cropie armor. Of course, I don't know the recipe, so I'm just gonna super craft these. And just like that, we have our first set of farming armor. Or well, second set technically. But this is the first upgrade in the line. So now that we have this, we have the chance to drop something called squash from all the axe farmables, such as pumpkins, melons, and cocoa beans. So those are the next farms that I need to build, and we will get back as soon as I'm done with that. And we're back. Only about 5 days later. Granted, it wasn't really 5 days worth of grinding. It was more like 3-4 hours. It's just I had other stuff to attend to. But I managed to build a pumpkin farm, a melon farm, and a cocoa bean farm all the way down there. And I grinded out enough materials to upgrade the entire cropie set into the next tier, the squash set. So just like the cropie armor, we're gonna be quick crafting it because I don't memorize the recipes. And just like that, we have the next tier, one step closer to getting to the final and best farming armor in the game, the fermento armor. Which, speaking of, fermento is dropped from farming sugarcane, cactus, mushroom, and netherwort. These are arguably some of the best crops to farm for the early game. Sugarcane being for brewing. When you need a potion to last longer, you need to level up your alchemy skill, which right now, as you can see, is level 9. What the meta is for you to level up alchemy by brewing a ton of speed potions using enchanted sugarcane. Another thing is mushrooms dropped something called burrowing spores, which is actually a reforge, arguably the best reforge for your farming equipment. And then finally, netherwort. I just like netherwort. It was one of the first it's one of the first items that I farmed when I was on my old profile, and it's more of a nostalgia thing. But yeah, out of all these crops, these are probably my most favorite crops to farm. So just like this armor, I will be back as soon as I'm done the grind for fermento gear. I just realized while I was about to start building the farm for the new armor is I'm gonna need a larger personal compactor because at the moment I can only compact one thing at a time. But if I'm gonna be dropping multiple items, I'm gonna be able to want to compact them all. So I need a higher redstone collection. The higher redstone collection will allow me to craft better super compactors, And with better super compactors comes more spaces for compacting. So, in order to do that a little bit faster, I think this is where we're going to start the minion grind. I've already been doing it a little bit on the side. As you can see, cobblestone tier 6, snowman tier 9, or no, that's 11. So I have been doing minions on the side, but I've been doing my best to avoid most of them. So, what better way to start the minion grind than to simply get the farming minions, some of the easiest minions to upgrade in the game. Since I've been farming pumpkins, I have plenty of pumpkins to go around upgrading minions. And so, pumpkin minion's gonna be my first minion that I upgrade. So, I think I'm gonna leave the pumpkin minion at level 10. That's a pretty high level, I'd say at least. Considering how early in the game we are, and we could always come back to finish it as soon as we get the fermento armor, which shouldn't take too long. And this is melon minion number 10. And now cocoa beans are done farming, so I have a level 10 cocoa bean minion, and I collected my redstone minion, so now I crafted the personal compactor 5000, which has 3 slots available, letting me craft more than before. So, with that said, I'm gonna quickly fill up the minion slots by crafting 2 more redstone minions, which should be quite easy, and then I'll continue on to build the farm for the sugarcane, netherwort, so on, the crops for the fermento. While I was basically gathering all I needed to finish the garden, or at least the farms that I'm building, as you can see, I made a sugarcane, a mushroom. This is going to be my netherwort farm, but I need to gather the netherworts to plant it. And then cactus farm, I'm planning on having on a separate plot. I'm pretty sure this plot, yeah, this plot. I just need to clear it out first. But cactus, I'm not going to spend too much time on, so it's going to get a singular plot instead of a full-length plot. But on that note, I decided to max out a sugarcane hoe while I was building these farms. Reason being is, as I said earlier, I need a lot of sugarcane, and because of that, I'm going to be using this for a while. And so, the sooner I max it out, the sooner I can finish that journey. So, here it is. I put cultivating onto the hoe, which is a enchantment that costs 2,500 bits, I believe. So, it was not cheap by any means, but it will be worth it in the end. But while I was getting that, I also realized that I'm running out of space here. As you can see, I do have some space in my ender chests 2 and 3, but I don't exactly want to move everything around and clutter up the space basically. So what I decided to do instead was, that menu bugged out for a second. Here we go. I guess it's just the garden. But the backpack slots, as you can see here, are unlocked by Tia the Fairy. As you can see, I already have a small backpack there, which is literally just this bag where I'm keeping this amazingly rare drop that I got off camera, and this even more rare drop I got on camera. So, with that said, I'm gonna unlock the backpacks, and in order to do that, I need to get fairy souls, and thanks to Skyblocker, there's actually a helper that'll show me every single fairy soul waypoint. If we turn it on here, you can see it all throughout the map. So I'm just gonna go island to island, gather all of them up, and I'll be back when I'm done. And this is the last fairy soul that I need to collect. All that's left is to go to Tia and turn in all the fairy souls. So all of the fairy souls come to this lovely lady sitting in the woods. Just gotta talk to her for a bit because I haven't talked to her before. But here we have 245 fairy souls to hand in. One specific soul where I need to pay 1 million coins in order to unlock the fairy soul. It's those fairy souls that I haven't got yet. But for all the purposes that we need, I've got all my backpack slots now. And over here on the island, you can see I've had a cow minion down this entire time, which means I've been collecting my backpacks. So, as you can see, there's still a few bags that are still medium. I have 3 large backpacks right now that I will use, but the reason why I don't put all of them in right now is because 1, I'm not in desperate need of using them, and 2, as you can see if I open up this storage, my first backpack, the small backpack, has some items in there already. Now let's say I want to upgrade it. I have to take it out and put it into a crafting table. The thing is, I need to empty it before I can take it out. Now imagine that spread across all my backpacks with completely full inventories. I'm not exactly ready for that yet. At least not mentally. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna settle with just some large backpacks, you know, just enough to get by. And with that, I should be good for the time being. But there's still quite a lot of upgrades for the backpack if we go into the leather collection. The highest upgrade, at least in the crafting table, is the greater backpack. But on top of the greater backpack, way down the line, we're gonna have the, where is it? Where do I find it? Upgrade components. Right here, we have the jumbo backpack upgrade, which increases our backpack again. So even though the large backpack over here has 3 slots, we can actually upgrade it to have five tall slots. So that's probably going to be our objective way down the line. So I'm gonna try and minimize my backpack use just so it doesn't become tedious. But with that small little distraction out of the way, we can finally finish up the farm and farm up for fermento armor. But moving on from those fairy souls, and more specifically coming back about a week and a half later, I want to say, there was quite a large time skip. Of course, farming isn't exactly the fastest process, but we finally made it. I finished my farm. I got all the stuff I needed to make an entire set of fermento. So just like the cropie and the squash armor, I'm going to quick craft these armor pieces. This is the fermento helmet, the fermento chest plate, the fermento leggings, and the fermento boots. And just like that, we have the best, the #1 farming set in the entire game. Oh no, I completely forgot there's a farming requirement. That's not good. How close am I? I might have just screwed myself over a little. Oh boy, I'm going to have to get an entire farming level without any farming armor, basically. Oh, that's a big mistake. Stepping away from possibly the biggest blunder that I've made this series so far, I've actually crafted a drill. So while off camera, there was actually a mining fiesta that happened because Cole is the current mayor. So not just 1 mining fiesta, but 5 mining fiestas. I ended up crafting a drill from the last mining fiesta from last episode, but I wasn't satisfied with just that. So we continued to mine a little bit off camera. I got some more materials here, but overall it was basically the same as the last mining fiesta. I mined a lot of titanium, a lot of mithril. I gathered some ores over here, as you can see. Like I just did some mining off camera, as the common phrase goes. But with all that being said, I am 1 step closer to upgrading my drill, which at the moment is enchanted as much as I can. It's still missing some drill parts, but I'll continue to do all this mining stuff off camera, as it's more of a passive thing. It'll take a lot more time to max out mining than it will with the garden. And my biggest goal right now is to focus on a money making method. But that will be all for today. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I did. I had a lot of fun farming off camera. And by that, I mean watching videos on the side while I hold down a few keys. But I hope you guys have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.